One's digital identity is what they make of it. My digital identity is relatively the same as my real world self. Online, I am more articulate with my responses without having to overanalyze the subject or situation. I also tend to be more assertive with my decision making than I tend to be in real life. Instead of hesitating and overanalyzing the situation, I pull the trigger and do what I believe to be the best solution based on the current situation. I tend to remember concepts better online, whether it is just a result of the platform itself or through memorizing and understanding the focus points more clearly. Technology gives us the power to create an alter ego. Before technology, this would be addressed as someone having an imaginary friend or a stuffed animal or other inanimate object to produce the same results. Technology allows people to be creative and provides freedom of expression. At Y4Y, a technology assistance and professional learning center, kids are empowered to hone their skills through varying forms of self-expression, whether it be through acting, digital art, script writing, etc., you name it. The students get to have full reign over the project from concept to finished production. Personally, I use technology to increase my communication skills with friends and response time both mentally and physically. In my honest opinion, technology only shapes or governs your life if you allow it. Tim Rainer, a blog writer of Philosophy for Change, writes in two of his blogs titled Foucault and Social Media, Life in a Virtual Panopticon, and I tweet, therefore, I become. Argues against my viewpoint of technology. Rainer says technology shapes us. I say we shape technology. Rainer believes in us using social media to interact with others, which is fine, but does so in the Panopticon style, where the central focus is always on who watches my videos or who likes my post or how many shares I get. Sherry Turkle, speaker of an episode of TED Talks called Connected But Alone, describes this way of thinking perfectly. She recalls how in the past, when talking to one another on the phone, we would pick it up and call them. Nowadays, the conversation is condensed as small as possible, usually 140 characters or less. People's digital identity is shaped by social and technological concepts very easily. This is known as the herd or mod mentality. According to Investopedia, herd instinct is a mentality characterized by a lack of individual decision-making or thoughtfulness, causing people to think and act in the same way as the majority of those around them. This concept encompasses society's digital identity in a nutshell. People will retweet on Twitter or share posts on Facebook, but will not spend time to create anything meaningful for themselves or others. Moving back to Raynor, he sees everything like a virtual performance. He writes in the blog post, "It is important for us to feel that we are being positively judged for these things." This is kind of a poor way to look at life. Those who judge will be judged. A perfect example of a lady following this type of performance-like behavior is a woman by the name of Peggy Orenstein. In the blog, it mentions that she started to write for her and her followers in the manner that they wanted to read. This style could arise through any number of emotions put into her head. Peggy and so many others follow in the herd mentality to put on this fake personality so that others will like their work, writing, or even themselves. The one area that I do agree with Rainer, to some extent, is that Panopticon does present itself in business and life. I say to an extent because each of us are unique human beings trying to put on an outer layer that will impress our audience. This outer shell only lasts for so long before one's true self is exposed, though. Depending on the situation, people will act in different manners. If they are with their friends, they may act more relaxed, casual, maybe even silly, depending on the situation. If you are at work, you'll probably act serious, respectful, be on your best behavior. These people are constantly performing to put on a performance, unknowingly so, for those around them. And then there are people who do not behave differently in public, some for better, others for reasons unknown. Sherry discusses in her talk about how people text in class and during corporate board meetings or shop online during presentations. Online, people cannot tell if you're multitasking or giving them your full attention. This has not become transparent for some people as this digital identity behavior leaks into the real world. People's digital identity is especially apparent in their clothing, their attitude, and even their body appearance. These people want to be just like their avatar in games, so they'll go and get their hair painted, wear the same clothes, and replicate their verbiage. These implications would not have appeared if it were not for technology.